Hey, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the USS Midway. I mean quick, we only got a couple hours. It's a large ship. And I'm sitting here in front of the aircraft fighter bomber, Second World War. This is the where the anchor windlasses are. And if they cut them loose and they go right out we're looking up the bow. We're looking straight up the bow of the ship. We're working our way aft. We're near the bow of the ship in the junior officers' quarters. There's a lot of wiring. And the F-8th Crusader ready room. We'll go on back in there. Junior officer quarters. You only got 2 bunks on a set, so they had spacious living quarters next to purple steam pipes there in the back. And we're going to move on through. We got a red light. Here's the shower. The junior officers' heads. Back down on the deck. And we're looking at one of the fighters that went after the Zeros and were challenged because the Zeros flew better and faster, but they couldn't take a hit. And these guys could take a beating. We're outside the Avenger. And this is it. It's a massive plane. It's a big internal combustion engine, massive plane. Torpedo bomber. You can see how they would use straps to lift it up into the torpedo bay. And that's the Avenger. Here's a trainer. Here's this guy. He's a pilot. He's looking at us. He said, "They're ready to take off? Are you good to go?" Okay.
Good luck, soldier.
Huey, Sabre Jet orientation section. Yeah, this is a. Yeah. We're out on the flight deck, and we're going to wander around and look at what we can for the next half hour. That's it. This is the bulk storage access hatch. We're right here midway near one of the elevators that takes planes up to the flight deck. But as you look over this sign, you're going to look down. They kept spare engines and spare parts way down. That's a couple decks down below. They keep the weight down below, and they bring it up here by elevator to install on planes. And of course, there's the flight deck to take you out to the and up to the flight deck. We're looking off at the Coronado Bridge in downtown San Diego on a waterfront. Kind of a cloudy day. Midway's now a museum. We're going to head back to the flight deck. I think that's a 104, F-104. That was flown by Pete Big Wally Stevens. Here's the trainer. This is what they flew prior to getting the real hot rods. But I'll bet that's a high-performance little plane. Here's a front-end view of the Phantom F4. Two engines, maximum speed Mach 2.1, I think. This is the SH-2 Sea Sprite utility helicopter. And it did a lot of subfinding, dropping buoys and sonar stuff. It's one of the early jet-powered helicopters. This is the F-14 Tomcat. 72,000 pounds of fast airplane. Goes twice the speed of sound. 53,000 feet. This is the SH-3 Sea King. It 3 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 Sea King It served for 20 years. It served as the most capable anti-submarine helicopter. It also picked up Apollo capsules and served as Air Force One, as Marine One.
Picked up the Apollo 13, the one that was in trouble.
Yeah. That's it. The pontoons on the side inflate. They can blow those up from inside, give them additional flotation. Amazing. Look at that back stern prop can spin around to shorten it when they have to store it. And I think the rotors are folding so they can tuck this thing away downstairs. Amazing. Orientation going on here about aircraft recovery. Let's hear what he has to say.
What he's going to do is, when he's ready, he's going to put a call sign out, nobody in particular, but to everybody. And he's going to say 99 Schoolboy Charlie 9 in this example, using 9 as a, 99 means I'm talking to everybody. Schoolboy means Midway. Midway's call sign was Schoolboy. And when he says Charlie, he's saying I will have a ready deck. The 9 is in 9 minutes. So he's going to put that out. 99 Schoolboy Charlie 9. One time, that's all he's going to say. Me as the lead flight leader, when I hear that, in our instrument panels, right up in here, which is kind of rounded, in the right-hand corner, there's a clock, stopwatch. When I hear that, I'm going to put my stopwatch. Just 9 minutes later, and this is
Hey, in honor of Super Bowl weekend, here's the H-60 Seahawk. Go Seahawks. Multi-purpose helicopter. Dominant naval helicopter now, even today, appearing in half a dozen variants.
Maybe it's a good sign.
There it is. The Seahawks. That's a good omen for the ball game day after tomorrow. Yowza. This is the UH-1 Huey gunship. Supported Navy patrol boats on the river, Mekong. He had 4 crew members on board. There was door gunners, pilot, co-pilot, and 127 miles an hour. And so here's what they carried for armament. But here they had a couple machine guns attached to the side with these magazines that came out, these tracks came out and fed each of the weapons. They look like they're shooting about a 30-06 caliber round, and then of course they had a series of rockets tucked underneath. Looks like they got 7 rockets. This is the one that was all over Vietnam. Rob will remember this one fondly. Another look at Coronado Bay, or Mission Bay, the Coronado Bridge. I think they call that area across from us Coronado, according to Barbara. And there's the ship. This ship drew about 25 feet of water when it was empty. And when it was full, it drew about 35 feet of water. We're going to walk on down to the bridge and see if we can get up there before they close here today. Looks like a prowler here on the left. There you go. That's a big electronic warfare plane. Flies out of Whidbey Island, Seattle Naval Air Station. Whidbey Island.
Turning you over to the shooter. Signal to him like this. So now the shooter has it. Now the catapult officer's in control. First thing he's going to do is he's going to look at the pilot and give him this signal right here. That means go to full power. See, up until this time, the pilot's been at reduced power. He's been taxiing around. He's had no way to check all of his engine issues. So now he goes to full power. He'll also get a signal like this. It means wipe out the cockpit. In other words, take the stick, the control stick, run it around like this way and check all your external control surfaces to be sure that everything's working fine. Check the rudders to be sure that nothing's hanging up. So wipe out the cockpit. In addition, the shooter's now also going to look around up forward to be sure everything's clear. He'll check around behind to see everything is clear. He's also looking on either corner of the flight deck and forward with a red and green light, stop and go lights. If there was a red light flashing, that meant do not launch. Follow deck. In other words, there's something or somebody up there that's in the way, looking for a green light. He's also watching the bow as it's going up and down. Now this is important. He's watching that bow and he wants to try to time it so he gives the signal to shoot as the bow is coming up. Pilots really didn't appreciate it if you fired them when the bow was going down. Okay? So he's watching the bow. And now meanwhile, now the pilot is going through his takeoff checklist. Once he's completed his checklist, everything checks off and he's ready to go. He'll look at the shooter and he'll salute him. The shooter will sometimes return the salute. He's telling him, I'm ready to go. The director out in front will give him the release your brakes. And now the shooter will take one look around and then he'll step forward and touch the deck. I used to like to do that, but I can't get back up again. So anyway, I have been replaced by a dummy. But anyhow, so when he touches the deck and points, that's the signal to this guy out here. Hit the button. So here he is. He reaches down to his console here. That's his third function. Now he hits the firing button. Boom. Again, the force of firing the catapult breaks it in half. And away he goes. This half drops down on the rollback bar that goes with the airplane. And away he goes. 0 to 150, 160 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds, 250 feet. At which time, as soon as he leaves, oh, by the way, usually what they'll do is he'll have his hand like this, left hand like this on the throttle. His right hand will be back. He doesn't want to grab the stick because there's a computer in there, and you get that rapid. The last thing you want to do is pull back on that stick because it can foul up the whole works there. So he's got his hand back here clear. As soon as that aircraft is clear of the deck now, he can take a, this is the first time now he's actually had full control. He'll clear the deck. As soon as he takes off, he would make a turn to the left, about a 10-degree turn to the left. From this catapult, turn to the right, from that catapult. It's called a clearing turn. And he'd move out like this, and then he'd turn back to parallel the ship as it's taking off. Time is 16:30. The Midway will close in 30 minutes. Thank you for coming on board today.
Here's the flight deck. We're going to try to get up on the island, they call it, the command post of this ship. And this is a radio. This is a radio room, and they probably send little pipes called bunny tubes, and they put messages up and down around the ship with compressed air.
Surface ship or subsurface, and we're going to designate it friendly, unknown, or hostile. You'll see these various symbols down here, and they all have specific numbers and codes. That's what all these status boards are. These are all the folks that belong to this. A lot of them.
This is the signals intelligence area, radio room, radio techs here. You can hear the music. Oh yeah. Here we are in the enlisted mess. So we're eating lunch here, and right over there bombs are going up and down an elevator bay. There's a machine shop. I see my batteries running low. Presses, milling machines. Looks like we got some security here, huh? Cardboard security. Oh.
They have their own little bathroom, bedrooms. Nice.
There's the post office.